What if the reason life keeps breaking you is not because it hates you, but because you are still clinging to an idea that was never true? The idea that people will eventually become who you need them to be. That plans will eventually start going the way you imagined. That one day, finally, the world will calm down enough for you to feel safe. But what if the world is not meant to calm down for you? What if the only thing that was ever meant to become calmer was you? The Stoics believed this with a ruthlessness that most modern people avoid. They watched emperors fall, friends die, fortunes crumble, reputations vanish, and they all came back to one conclusion. The world will keep breaking you in different ways until you learn the one truth that can't be broken. That truth is what you're about to hear. Some of the most exhausted people you know are not carrying the heaviest jobs. They're carrying the heaviest expectations. They expect loyalty to be returned with loyalty. They expect effort to be rewarded with success. They expect patience to be recognized, goodness to be appreciated, and fairness to appear if they just try hard enough. But quietly, life keeps doing something else. The people they help forget them. The chances they earn fall through. The plans they make collapse for reasons no one can explain. And after each blow, they say the same thing. How much more am I supposed to take? What they don't realize is that life is not asking them, how much more can you take? Life is asking them something else, something harder. How much longer will you keep depending on things you don't control for your peace? Until that truth is faced, the world will keep repeating the same lesson through different people, different failures, and different losses. Not because the universe hates you, but because there is something you still haven't learned. The Stoics understood this long before our modern problems existed. They knew that strength doesn't begin when hardship ends. Strength begins when illusion ends. Most people think they are fighting bad luck, unfair people, or a difficult world. But look closer. They're not fighting the world. They're fighting how different the world is from the way they secretly believe it should be. They think, people should always appreciate what I do. My hard work should guarantee success. If I'm kind, others should be kind back. If I plan carefully, things shouldn't fall apart. When reality refuses to obey those rules, they don't just feel pain. They feel insulted, betrayed, personally attacked. And they carry that feeling for days, weeks, sometimes years. The Stoics called this hidden war resist to what is. The bigger the gap between how you think life must be and how life actually is, the more you suffer. The world is not breaking you. Your attachment to how it should be is what keeps shattering. Notice how often you live inside events that are over. You relive the argument while brushing your teeth. You replay the rejection while walking to work. You reopen old messages and reopen old wounds. You act out entire conversations in your head that will never happen in real life. The original moment, those few seconds or minutes, is gone. But the story you keep telling about it is not. And it's that story that keeps breaking you. The Stoics saw this clearly. Events have power for a moment. What gives them power for years is our decision to revisit them. Pain happens once. Suffering happens every time you rehearse it. The world will keep breaking you on the edge of your own memory until you learn to let the story stop where reality stopped. There is a silent equation underneath most of your frustration. Suffering equals reality minus expectation. You expected them to stay. You expected the plan to work. You expected your efforts to be enough. You expected life to reward you for being the good one. Reality did something else. The Stoics never said you shouldn't hope, love, or plan. They said, do it with eyes open. Know that no one signed your internal contract. No one promised to be the person your mind scripted. You can't stop reality from changing. But you can stop insisting that reality must change into your favorite version before you allow yourself to be at peace. The world keeps breaking those inner contracts because it never agreed to them.
Think about how much of your emotional life depends on things that do not belong to you. Other people's opinions, whether they reply or not, whether they choose you or not, whether they praise or ignore you, whether your effort produces instant results, whether circumstances cooperate. You can influence some of these things. You cannot control any of them. If your peace rises and falls with variables you cannot command, then your peace is not yours. It is rented from conditions you do not own. The Stoic truth that will keep repeating until you master it is this: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Until you accept that, the world will keep showing you how little you actually control. Not to punish you, to wake you up.
Look at how much energy you spend imagining what others think. You scan faces for signs. You interpret silence as judgment. You let one stranger's comment drown out 10 sincere compliments. You twist yourself into someone else's idea of right just to avoid disapproval. And still, people misunderstand. Still, some don't like you. Still, someone is disappointed. The Stoics weren't cold. They were honest. They knew that building your worth on opinion is like building a house on waves. No matter how beautiful it looks, it can't stand. The world will keep breaking your heart through criticism, gossip, and misunderstanding until you learn to move your self-respect to a place where their approval cannot reach. Your own judgment of your own actions. Maybe you've wondered why the same kind of pain keeps repeating in your life. Different faces, same wound. Different jobs, same frustration. Different relationships, same emptiness. The world isn't plotting against you, it's mirroring you. If you avoid confrontation, you keep meeting people who walk over you. If you avoid boundaries, you keep attracting people who take. If you avoid being alone, you keep falling into relationships just to avoid silence. If you avoid hard choices, you keep ending up in situations where the choice is made for you. Life will keep setting up similar tests until you stop running the same escape pattern and learn the lesson hidden inside the discomfort. The Stoic doesn't ask, why is this happening to me again? They ask, what pattern in me keeps saying yes to this? When that question changes, the cycle breaks. You can't control whether someone apologizes. You can control whether you keep rereading the argument. You can't control whether an opportunity comes back. You can control how prepared you become for the next one. You can't control whether people understand you. You can control whether you live honestly enough to respect yourself. You can't control whether life is fair. You can control whether unfairness hardens or deepens you. The world keeps breaking people who spend their strength complaining about what they don't control while neglecting what they do. The Stoic flips that. They pour effort only where effort can grow something. Their thoughts, their decisions, their habits, their character. Everything else is weather. You dress for it, you adjust to it. You don't argue with it. Real strength is rarely dramatic. It's not the shout in the argument. It's the sentence you choose not to say. It's not the perfect plan. It's the willingness to adapt when the plan falls apart. It's not the life without pain. It's the refusal to turn pain into an identity. The world keeps breaking people who confuse noise for power, who think that reacting is the same thing as being strong. Stoic strength is different. It is the calm voice that says, "This hurt, but it does not define me. This failed, but it does not decide who I become. This left, but I am still here, and I'm not finished." You can't stop the world from shaking you, but you can build something inside that the shaking cannot reach. Here is the Stoic truth life will keep repeating to you until you finally understand it. You suffer most when you require the world to give you what you were meant to give yourself. When you require the world to be fair before you feel at peace, others to approve you before you approve yourself, circumstances to be easy before you feel strong, the past to make sense before you stop living in it. As long as those are requirements, the world will keep breaking you. The Stoic reversal is brutally simple. Give yourself the acceptance you keep waiting for. Give yourself the boundaries you keep excusing others from. Give yourself the honesty you keep softening to stay liked. Give yourself the discipline you wish life would magically hand you. Then something quietly shifts. Life is still hard. People are still imperfect. The future is still uncertain. But you are no longer breakable in the same way. Because the things that used to shatter you, their opinion, that failure, this loss, no longer hold the keys to your peace. You do. The world will keep breaking you until you master this Stoic truth. Your power is not in controlling events, but in controlling the meaning you give them, and the person you choose to become anyway. Type this vow somewhere you'll see it often, or in the comments if you want to anchor it. The world can test me, but it cannot own me. I rule my mind. Then let every challenge from this point forward be proof of that sentence. Stay
grounded. Stay disciplined. Stay unbreakable.